Welcome to today's lesson, Unit 2, Lesson 13, Polynomial Division Part 2. This may also be an A and a B because of the material requires a lot. Okay, what do we notice? What do we wonder? So, basically, this is the same problem. So, step one, multiply, find a number that multiplies and is smaller than the first two numbers. So placing is very important. You can't have the 2 lined up over the 2. It has to be over 7 because this is 2-digit numbers. 2 times 1 is 2, goes there. 2 times the first 2 goes there. So we keep everything lined up. We get our number. 2 times 11 is 22. Then we subtract. After we subtract, we bring down the next term. And that's what you see here in this step. So our 5 goes over top of our third number. 5 times 11 is 55. We get subtract. We bring down our 2. And same thing for the next one. We multiply again, and we get an answer of 0. What this tells us is that 11 is a factor of 2,772. But what I want to do now is talk about the parts of a division problem. Your answer is called the quotient. The number that does the work is called the divisor. And the number being divided is called the dividend. I should probably put this in different colors, but you get the point. Now, let's look at a polynomial long division problem. It's the same concept as double-digit division. You can't line the 2x squared over top the x. It must be over the second term. The x squared must go over the x squared. So 2x squared times x is 2x cubed. 2x squared times 1 is 2x squared. But the thing here is the signs have changed because we have to do some steps. So step 1, multiply to match the first term, sign and all. To match. Okay, step 1, multiply to match the first term. Step 2, change both signs. This is important. Sometimes people remember to change one sign, but they often forget to change the second sign. Step 3, add or subtract. Remember, same signs add, different signs subtract. Don't worry about which one is negative, which one is positive. Same signs add, different signs subtract. Step 4, bring down the next term. So after we change both sides in a blue circle, now 2 minus 2 is 0. 7 minus 2 is 5. Take the sign of the larger number, which is positive. No sign in front of a number means it's positive. Bring down your next term. Now we have to multiply to match the first term. The first term is 5x. So we're going to multiply 5x. Positive 5x times x is 5x squared. 5x times 1 is 5x. Step 1, multiply to match the first term because the first term, the leading term, has to be eliminated. And every time you subtract, you're going to get a new first term. So step 2, change both signs. The leading term cancels out. 7 minus 5 is 2 again. Bring down, step 4, bring down the next term. And then we do the same thing again. What times x makes 2x? 2. So you get 2x and 2, and then we change both signs. Then we add or subtract, and we get to 0. If our answer is 0, that tells us x plus 1 is a factor of this polynomial. And our factors are x plus 1 times 2x squared plus 5x plus 2. These are our factors of the polynomial. Okay, now yesterday we used the box. Today we're going to do long division with the house. And so 3x times 2x is positive 6x squared. 3x times 1 is positive 3x. They change both signs. Same signs add, -7 and -3 is -10. Bring down. You have to match the first term. So negative 5 times 2 is negative 10x. Negative 5 times 1 is negative 5, but then they went and changed both signs. All right, so now our answer is 3x and negative 5. So if we do the multiplication, we get 3x, negative 10x, and negative 5. When you add on the diagonal, you get 6x squared minus 7x minus 5. And that should be our original polynomial. So both methods work. Okay, x minus 2 is a factor. That means the answer will be 0. That's what that means. X minus 2 is a factor. The answer will be 0. So now let's find the other factor by doing the division. They set up the first one for us. 2 times x is 2x cubed. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4x. They changed both signs. So now we got to do negative 7, positive 4. Different signs subtract. Take the sign of the larger number. Bring down the next term. What times x makes negative 3x? Negative 3x. Gives you negative 3x squared plus 6x. Now, we change both signs. So this becomes positive, this becomes negative. And then 1 minus 6 is negative 5x plus 10. We have to match the leading term. What times x is negative 5x, negative 5. Gives us negative 5x. Negative 5 times negative 2 is positive 10. Then we come back and change both signs, and we get 0. And these are our factors. So x minus 2 and 2x squared minus 3x minus 5. These are our two factors. Okay, so the box method is right. This is the answer, but we're going to check and make sure. Okay, what times 2x makes 2x cubed? Well, x squared. X squared times 2x is 2x cubed. X squared times 1 is x squared. Change both signs. We get 0. We get 12x squared. Bring down your next term. Plus 16x. What times 2x is 12x? 6. So plus 6x. 6x times 2x is 12x squared. 6x times 1 is 6x. Change both signs, leaving you with 0, 10x. Bring down your 5. What times 2 is 10? 5, positive 5. 5 times 2 is 10x. 5 times 1 is 5. Change both signs, you get 0. So, we've proven that 2x plus 1 and x squared plus 6x plus 5 are factors of the polynomial. Okay, here are some polynomial functions with known factors. Rewrite each polynomial as a product of linear. Now be careful here, we have to do another step. Linear factors means taking it down to where x is to the first power, like this one. There's no x squared or square outside. So be careful of your work, because when you get the answer, you will not be finished. Okay, so x squared times x is x cubed. X squared times negative 7 is negative 7x. Change both signs, subtract, we get 0. We get 0. Bring down the next term. Now here we have two terms. There's nothing you can multiply the two terms to make one term. So we put a 0 right here. There's nothing to multiply to match the leading term. There's nothing to add or subtract. There's nothing. So we bring down the next term. And so now we have two terms. We have two terms. Now we're ready. What times x makes negative 16x? Well, negative 16. So negative 16x, negative 16 times negative 7 is positive 112. Change both signs, we get 0. So now we have x minus 7 and then x squared minus 16. So now we have to go back to our Algebra 1 days. There are only two terms and there's a subtraction sign, which tells us this is what's called a difference of squares. To solve a difference of squares, you take the square root of the first term and the square root of the next term, of the last term or the second term, giving us x minus 7, x, and x. Now, when you take the square root of a positive number, you get two answers. One is going to be positive and one is going to be negative. Positive 4 times positive 4 is 16. Negative 4 times negative 4 is 16. So there you go. That is the answer. Okay, looking at the next one. This one is not even set up for us. So we're going to have to set this one up. So x plus 3 is the divisor. The factor goes outside the house. Inside the house is x cubed minus 3x squared minus 13x plus 15. Multiply. There are two terms. You cannot put your x squared over top of the x cubed. Don't put it here. That's not good. It has to move over here because there are two terms. X squared times x is x cubed. X squared times 3 is negative 3x squared. Step 2, change both signs. Wait, I'm sorry, I wrote that too fast. That was positive 3. We changed the sign. It now becomes negative 3x squared. They cancel out. Same signs add. You get negative 6x squared minus 13x. Now we have to multiply to match the first term. The first term is negative 6x squared. So we have to multiply by negative 6x to get negative 6x squared. Negative 6x times 3 is negative 18x. Change both signs. Step 2, change both signs. Multiply to match the leading term. Change both signs. We get 0 there. We get positive 5. 18 minus 13 is positive 5x. Bring down to 15. What times x makes 5x? 5. 5x 15. Change both signs. We get 0. Now, our factors are x plus 3, x squared minus 6x plus 5. Now, I'm going to put this on another page. Okay, so now we got a blank page. What you got to do is to factor these is take your third term of your trinomial. List all the factors that multiply to 1 and 5. After you list all the factors, add them and subtract them. And then look for your middle term. Our middle term happens to be 6. So our third term is positive. Both signs are the same. So we're going to write x plus 3. And then we get x and 1 and x and 5. Our middle term is negative, so it means they're both negative. How do I know? Negative 1 plus negative 5 is negative 6. Negative 1 times negative 5 is positive 5. And that is linear.